Hello, hello. This is the Potty Mouth Podcast. No, just kidding. This is the Up and In It. But this is a parental discretion advised type of show. So, angel ears, be careful. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff. And if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it's entirely dedicated to creating an alternative lifestyle design that improves quality of life for both people and for the planet, exploring alternatives to the daily grind through liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. So what's up, guys? What is going on? I'll tell you what's up with me. It's about humaning up. It's a saying on my show, and I kind of like this one because I haven't seen it anywhere, and I hope that I've coined it. So if you guys, right here is fresh off the press. It's 2020. It's May. I'm the one who came up with it. So no, I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit. I just like it. Human up. And why am I making this the subject matter of today's show? By the way, this is show 104. Is because this is a big one. Well, let's just get into it. I want to just say that when you human up, when you own your word, the only thing that you own in this world is your word. Money, all that stuff disappears. Power, if that's what you're into, fame, all of those things. But what you have is your word. And that's what means the most to people. And I think that opportunities will open up to you and present that they have for me. This is through experience. So I just recently, a few days ago, somebody came over and, I set up a little pool for a kid. And it was like, yeah, it's going to be hot. I got a little thing going on here. Why don't you bring them down and they can go swimming? And I'll set it up. I'll throw a tarp down and all that and make a little trickle waterfall, which I did. And so the person showed up and they enjoyed the pool. The kid was splashing around and then they just took off. I was like, all right. And so I'd like to say too is this is on the spin farm project that I'm working on. And I'm working my ass off. I was like, look, I can't do a lot for you, but I'll set this up and, you go from there. I'm not much for chit chat, trying to get some work done. So the bait that I had here with this person is that they set themselves up when they left. They didn't offer to help like drain the water out. They didn't help to they cleaned up after themselves, thank God. But never offered, hey, you're working really hard, it's hot, maybe I could dump the water out and deflate this pool for you, fold up the tarp, and nothing, just enjoy and then just take off. And those are the type of people that you don't want to be around. You don't want to have any sort of relationship, especially business, and especially I would say marriage. Because it kind of shows people I think are snitching on themselves when they do these things, and I think it's fantastic. There's a lot of them in this world, and I think it's nice to know who's who. So when I look to myself, it's a blessing in disguise, because if I wanted to start a business or there was something that I wanted to do where I know I needed someone that's going to follow through, it's going to show up, that person's definitely not it. So it shortcuts me to look for other people who are going to show up, who are offering to help. So what would I expect in a situation like this? And I'm not just singularizing this one. I'm saying in life in general, I would expect someone to do like I do. Like you would say, hey man, would you like me to empty the pool? Dump this water out and fold this thing up for you. We're going to get out of here. Thank you so much. You kind of, you offer some help, especially to those who are working and very busy. We're all very busy. And I think that's been one of the secrets to a lot of my successes and findings, is that I gave a lot first. Like I would go and help people. Like my neighbors, I was telling you guys before in later podcasts, roof was leaking. So I just went over there and it was a simple little patch. I was like, I don't know if I'll get it. Like I could probably just patch it for a while. They were poor people, mechanics. And I went up there and sure enough, patched up their roof in like 15 minutes. And there was a time in my car where my truck wasn't starting and he was a mechanic. He comes over and first thing in the morning, gets my truck started for me. How much did I tell him? It took him like an hour and he's like, forget it. So the opportunities in the community, these situations when you prove yourself, when you extend yourself out there and actually help instead of being a hindrance. And I think that's for a lot of people waiting to go back to work because this whole COVID-19 lockdown shit. Those are the type of people, I think also the bosses, that's the type of people you want to match up with. Like even if you're a worker, You want to make sure that you get a job with there's a manager or the business owner, probably if you can, the business owner is on point. They're organized. You can tell they genuinely care about you. You can tell by certain things where if they can make certain accommodations, you know, you give, they give. Not a person that's just like, look, show up and do the job plan and then get the fuck out of here. You know, you got to find it both ways. It's a two-way street here. The phone line goes both ways. So, but you as an employee, I think doing a lot of extra stuff that you're not supposed to do, well, it's not expected of you. I wouldn't say not supposed to, you know. You want to go fucking re-drywalling the fucking office, you know, you don't know how, but but no, sweeping floors and things like that. And it's going to lead to someplace one of these days. And I think it's just for yourself as well. Like, I think a good choice of character is people who actually return their shopping carts. You know, they look and go, well, this fucking place is taking all my money. You know, maybe it's Costco or something, some big corporation. They can afford to pay someone to hunt down the shopping cart. I'm just going to leave it right here on the, you know, in a parking stall where it can scratch somebody's car because I don't really give a shit. Or you human up and you go and you take that cart and you put it back. Just the feeling inside you is that you don't have that animosity, that you don't care, even if somebody was ripping off. But you know who's not ripping somebody off? You're not ripping yourself off. And that's the problem I see in the world, is that people have to get this mentality of this entitlement and these thoughts. And that's where I mean human up, because it feels good inside yourself. You're the one that's got to carry that fucking bullet, that baggage. So why not make it easier on yourself and do good and be a good person for you first? And I guarantee you it will shine on to other people. Well, that's the show, guys. That's a very short one, the shortest one I think I've done so far. I just wanted to give you guys a message there, and hopefully it finds you guys well, and it helps you guys out. If you like this sort of thing, check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Apple iTunes, Spotify. And as I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it. Love it. Own it. Bone it, my friends.